Alright, here's another chord lesson. This is going to require that you have a pretty good grounding in the bar chords. For instance, knowing that this would be G major, or that this would be D major, etc., etc. Okay, some other ideas based off of those bar chords. Alright. Okay, for instance, if I took a G major bar chord here, okay, one cool thing you can do with that, instead of playing the entire thing, you just play a portion of it, like that note, and then the middle finger there. Just play the high ones, or put your ring finger there. And what that does is it frees your pinky to embellish a bit. You could also throw your thumb over the root there. Hendrix did that a lot. But just with that, you would have this kind of thing, you know. And reggae, you know. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing off that to do instead of that, this is a really cool inversion. Here's the chord, and where my pinky was in this bar chord, put my first finger there instead. This might be weird for some of you. That's alright. Give it a try. I put the A string's getting muted. That's getting muted by that finger. That. I can take a regular D chord, but I can play that kind of cool same inversion by putting my middle finger there, my first finger there from the chord. Then my ring finger is going to go right here, and I can play that as just a regular D chord instead. Now I'm not really playing anything on the high E, it's kind of muted, so it's kind of a middle thing. But with this finger there, you can go. But I could also move that up to E. That kind of thing. I like that one a lot. Another one that is really cool based off of this bar chord with the root on the A string, like this is D major right here. Instead of playing that one, what I like a lot is, I call it the Hendrix major chord, because he used it in a bunch of songs, and it's a real kind of chord you can embellish with a lot. So instead of that being there, I take my finger. This is still D though, the root's right there, but we're not playing the root anymore. I bar this whole area here, and then I'm going to hammer on this note. It's still a D major. Okay, so watch, if I take the D progression, D to G, just that kind of thing. And for this D, I'm going to use the D major Hendrix chord. For the G, I'm going to use this one, and it'll sound like this. Give you an idea of a way to make standard progressions a little more exotic. And with that D major, Hendrix major chord, there's a thing called the major pentatonic right here. Which looks like the B minor pentatonic, but it's also the exact same thing as the D major pentatonic. So all these notes are in there within the chord. folksy thing. He used it a lot. A lot of other guitar players use it too, so I'm not the originator, but passing it on. Okay. Couple other ideas here real quick. Another famous person's chord, even though he didn't play guitar, but it's synonymous with him, is the James Brown chord. It's got the root on the A string. So if I wanted to play, let's say, instead of an E7 chord, I can play what's called E9 with the root on the A string, also known as the James Brown chord. So E on the A string's right here. It's the 7th fret. Put my middle finger there. First finger right there. Ring finger right here. So it kind of looks like a B7 if you learn that. But then with my ring finger, I cover all 3 here, and then that. It sounds like this. Slide in with it. Pinky right here. It's the James Brown. Substitute this for any 7 chord instead. So if that's E, instead of E7, I could play E9. Now if I know an E7 right here is a bar chord, they go well together, and you can kind of improvise a rhythm with both chords over the one tonality. Okay. Another famous person's chord would be what's called the regular Hendrix chord. The fancy name for it is a 7 sharp 9. I'll go with that same E idea. Now, it's a little more ambiguous when you can use it, but basically you can kind of substitute it for an E7, or you could also substitute it for an E minor. It's kind of got minor and major tendencies in it, so it's kind of a minor major chord crashing together. It's almost exactly like the James Brown chord, but instead of going like that, I put my pinky right there. Okay. And what's cool with that is this little blues box right below it. Okay, let's see, 2 more quick ones. If I take this A minor bar chord, instead of playing that, I put my middle finger on the root, and then my ring finger across mainly just these 3 strings here. And the A string's muted by my middle finger again, like that other chord. I like this one a lot because I have my first finger to do stuff down here. That'd be A minor 9, adding that. A minor 6. And then if I add my pinky here, it's A minor 9. My string got stuck. Goes to D9 really well. Okay, so lots of interesting things. So if you have any questions, you can send me a message. And I know this is kind of a ambiguous lesson, but those are just kind of off the top of my head some chords for you. All right.